Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Arquitectura Axioma. Today I'm gonna teach you how to properly pour foundations. I just came out of an inspection on a project that I'll show you very soon, and it's a two-story house. And it's basically a big inspection between three parties. The owner, the builder, the inspector, meaning the structural engineer, a concrete and asphalt lab, quality test lab, and me as the architect. So it's gonna be a good video. It's gonna show you a lot of info, more about the organization, on how to produce with optimal results a very neat foundations concrete pouring. So I hope that you like the video. Please let me know in the comments what are your thoughts. So let's go into the video. This project is a two-story house that is currently being built in the area of Volcancito, a residential neighborhood very close to Boquete downtown. In this video, we're gonna check proper rebar and proper concrete pouring for footings and seismic beams. So, having said that, let me introduce you. In the brown t-shirt, the civil engineer, which is the inspector, and in the blue t-shirt, the builder. As we start checking the rebar, the engineer realizes that there are some minor issues that needs to be addressed quickly, because these are the first footing to be poured, and the pouring is literally going to start in 5 minutes. Now, I know that you're wondering what is this guy doing, but a proper foundation must have a 2-inch separation from the edge to the last rebar, and in this particular foundation, that is not happening in every rebar in the grill that you're looking at. So now you know issue number 1. Let me show you the solution of issue number 2. And it's that gravel that you're seeing in the wheelbarrow. The second problem that we're facing is that the holes that were dug for the footings are just too deep. So we're using the gravel to do some filling for the grill to sit in perfect position regarding the thickness of the footing, which in this case is 12 inches. Now he's just making sure that the gravel is properly spread out and has the proper depth regarding the grill of the footing, so we can start the foundations pouring. No. And meanwhile, we're getting ready to test the concrete to find the perfect resistance that this project requires. We prepare some mixture and then we proceed to do the slump test. The slump test is the concrete test to check the workability of the concrete. It is important to do this test every time the concrete process is about to start. We also check on the temperature of the concrete. As it starts to harden, the concrete starts to release temperature. This is called exothermic reaction. And by checking the temperature, it tells us if the concrete is drying properly according to the resistance that we need for this project. It is important to mention that we hired a professional concrete lab to make these tests. Now it's time to answer the big question: how we're gonna pour all the concrete for the footings and the seismic beams. What you're about to witness in this clip is the complete and optimal concrete process. I'm gonna go over how we get the concrete mixture, how we take it to the side, and how we pour the actual footing for this two-story house. For the sake of this video, some of this footage is gonna be fast-forwarded, but still I'm gonna describe each step of the process. Now, before I start explaining all this process, I wanna mention a few things that I like about this pouring. Number 1, everything is pretty organized. Look at the colors of the buckets. Number 2, everybody is doing something. Number 3, even though this is a construction site, the place remains pretty clean. And number 3, the setup and the locations of the materials is not obstructing the logistics of the pouring. Concrete is defined as an artificial stone. And as you know, concrete is a mixture of cement, water, sand, and gravel. The proportion of these ingredients will dictate the resistance of any concrete mixture. Not all concrete mixtures will have the same resistance. For example, a footing obviously needs to have a stronger resistance than a floor slab. So the resistance that we're looking for this particular footing is 3,500 pounds per square inch. For that resistance, we will need 1 bag of cement by 1.5 buckets of water by 3.5 buckets of sand and 5 buckets of gravel. Each bucket that you'll see in this video is a 5-gallon tank. So I'll let you do the math at home of how much material we're actually using. As you can see, the first load of concrete is ready to go. And there it goes. Now, while the guys are delivering the concrete, there is one person that needs to make sure that there are no bubbles in the footings. Also, take a look on the wheelbarrows. They are not filled at the top because they need to go uphill to the construction site. This means that the pouring will last a little more than usual, so we need to compensate it with extra labor to get it done on time. Pouring concrete footings is a job that takes an entire day, and we have 20 individual footings to go. So the seismic beams will be done in a different day once the footings are dried. So take a look on our first footing poured with concrete that you just saw. Now, I just mentioned that we have 20 footings, so we have 19 left to go. So we're gonna skip that part and we're gonna move forward with seismic beams. As you can see, both builder and engineer are standing in the footings, so that's done. Now, the engineer is reviewing how the rebar was assembled together. He made a few observations, but in general speaking, it's an 8 out of 10. We just need to be a little cleaner the next time. And we'll now check if the wood boards were properly placed, because that is what will give us the dimensions of the seismic beams. This is the measurement that is described in the plans. So now we're going to show you how we pour the concrete for the seismic beams. It's the same that we did in the footings, but now I'm going to show you how we make sure the integrity of the seismic beams stay strong. And that is taking out all the possible bubbles or the possible air bubbles that could be in the seismic beams. We do that with a stick to make sure that the pouring is made even. Now, this is a 3-step level of the seismic beams. This doesn't affect the integrity, but it helps us to play with a lot height difference. So that's it, guys. That's the entire size of the seismic beam that it's about to be poured. And all the concrete beams, all the seismic beams in this house took us 3 days to pour and 2 weeks to prepare us for each pouring day. In future videos, I'm going to show you how we continue with this house, how we'll do the walls, how we'll do the columns, the beams, the second floor slab, the roof, and how your construction process of your own custom house is going to look like here in Boquete, Panama. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future videos and see you the next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Well, guys, that's it for today. Remember to like this video, to share with your friends, to subscribe to my channel, and to stay tuned because I'll be posting more content about architecture, construction, and Boquete for all the people that are interested to relocate in this beautiful place. See you the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.